Ask you about some of your new projects, Blue Barella and Benny, that you have coming up.
Yeah.
Could you tell us anything about that?
Benny, I can say I don't think we do the movie because it's a movie what I don't produce, what they asked me to direct it, and it's was a little remembered on the Mythical Horror where I read it. I said, okay, I do it, and they tried to do it in Utah, and I don't hear from them, so I don't think the project will happen. But Blue Barella is done. Oh, now I get an ice cream even here, so good. And Blue Barella is done, and we shot that parallel to Blood Rain, right? So Blood Rain 3. And it's basically the story of a fat superhero.
Very nice. And I also saw that you have In the Name of the King 2 in the works. Is that correct?
Yeah, we are in post-production. We shot it in December till Christmas with Dolph Lundgren. Like the whole story plays. It starts actually now, in times like now, and then it's a time travel thing back in time, and they tell Dolph that he was basically transferred in the future, and the whole kingdom got wiped out, and he has to they bring him back now to save the kingdom again. But he'd grown up in our times, so he thinks the whole thing is completely absurd and idiotic. And the movie has a lot of dry humor, what I think works very good with a character like Dolph.
You've had an amazing cast. Sorry about that. You had an amazing cast in both movies, and did you have to deal with any egos when you were making that movie, or was it the set pretty flowed well?
No, Dolph is super disciplined. He speaks 6 languages. He's a super intelligent guy. He's actually a mechanical engineer, and they hired him from the streets to do the Rocky movie. And he was never acting before. And then he stayed in acting because he made more money. And so he's easy to work with. And everybody else in the movie, like Lachlan Monroe and Natasha Miles, is super nice. And on King 1, it was sometimes not easy with Ray Liotta, because he's a mastered actor, and I like him for this. I think he's a great actor. And it was the first CGI kind of fantasy movie he ever did.
Right.
And it was for him tough, like when he was like in that hall of illumination, and I talked him through it. I said, here is now the rider, here you get attacked, and he was standing there and said, like, this is all bullshit. I don't know anything. This is like, I don't play this, I don't say this. And I said, yeah, but later it makes all sense. So it was sometimes, but he's like a nice person, but he's not easy. Like he's not somebody you just say do it, like just do the shoot or do that shot. Like you can, so Jason Statham or Ray Liotta or Christian Slater. You can just say, okay, just do the shot. Don't question, just do it. And they do this. But a Ray Liotta, he needs always a reason.
Amazing. I can't wait to see the second one. So I wanted to talk to you a little bit about your fight that you had a while back with people. You fought, I think it was 5 participants in a boxing match, one of them being Chris Alexander from Rue Morgue. And I wanted to get the record on the record that you did kick all of their asses. Is that correct?
Yeah, totally. And I told everybody, like, you wrote shit about me, and I hate you, and I want to kick your ass. And we told everybody you should better go to training. And actually, Chris Alexander, I think, was the only guy, and Chance Minter, but Chris Alexander was the only guy who actually went to training. There's a whole documentary, what was not finished, about him training and doing the boxing fight, and a maneuver in Vancouver, or whatever the title was, and I don't think it's finished now. And so he did a lot and was good prepared, but you cannot like learn boxing in 2 months.
Right.
It's just impossible. And and so, but it was a big event in Vancouver in the Plaza of Nations. And there is a documentary from Dan West, A Raging Ball, about me, what will maybe get out with Tartan Palisades on DVD soon, where he made a 90 minutes about me, at this time, and there are also the boxing fights will be completely in that documentary.
How cathartic was that to fight some of the critics? I mean, that must have been pretty amazing to actually get to punch them in the face.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Also, but the typical idiotic thing from these guys was they came to get more famous.
Oh, I see. So
I think they did that to be in the limelight, to be like, yes, I'm whatever. Like it was not like they didn't thought it through, like that they getting hammered. So they just wanted to get the free trip to Vancouver and get a little press out of their own life. But if you see now, Chris Alexander is the editor from Fangoria now, and the other guy who was that, he is now working for the Hollywood Reporter or Variety. So they all had a pretty good follow-up after this.
Very nice. And with Postal, I know that you got a lot of critics talking bad about the movie and about you. And I actually saw Postal. I thought it was really good. Was that hard to take, or did they just didn't get it? Do you think that was it?
Yeah, I think also if you still can watch Postal now, and I still think it's the most ridiculous satire on that whole absurd situation after September 11th. And I think the movie is still didn't lost any sharp criticism what the movie did, and at the same time it was for me representing a humor like The Life of Brian or the Naked Gun movies, and this kind of humor was not really existing in movies anymore at this point. Yeah, I was really happy when I saw Hangover, because in Hangover I felt like this is really funny, and they went that radical way and not always this kind of in the end is always a wedding, or in the end they're always happy.
Right.
So I like that in Hangover, but this was after Postal. So I think Postal made some hilarious points about us, all of us basically.
Definitely. So I just want to ask you a few more questions. And one being, what do you think is the current state of horror? Do you think it's a lot of crap coming out, or do you think it has a chance to actually put quality out, and they just choose to put crap out?
It is tough to say. A lot of horror movies, like when I see like PG-13 horror movies, I don't take them serious. Basically, it's like and a lot of like studio movies are. The trailer is like scary or whatever, but then if you see the movie, there's just the blood is missing, or the gore is totally missing, only to get that PG-13 rating. Then you have some when you have, I think your photo looks almost like Saw, basically. Yeah. So I loved the idea of Saw. I really loved it, and I loved the first movie. But I think also they drove that franchise totally in the ground now. It's like I cannot watch it anymore. It's over. And a lot of like really scary horror movies I saw more out of other countries, not of US. Like Inside with Beatrice Dahl was just a hammer. Yeah, I loved that movie, and I don't think on that quality level. People were able to in US with like Lionsgate or something on that quality label, they would not deliver a movie like this. And because of Inside, I hired the same French crew, worked on my Auschwitz movie, on Blood Rain, that did the prosthetics, and the same company, Pistoleros is their name. They did now they do the CGI, the dragon in the Name of the King 2. So I really thought these guys are very creative and high end. And like when you see the Auschwitz teaser, like the boy who gets into the oven, this is a full-on photorealistic body build, because the boy you see before in the movie where he's alive. So also from that French crew. So they are really high end and for a good price. So you don't have to pay like millions of dollars to get that super good quality from them. So there will be always horror movies, and the peak is definitely behind us right now. And maybe the genre will come back. And but the last Wes Craven movie was crap. So it's like also George Romero.